Question number 6 reads, Mr. Larkin grouped the students in his class into 4 groups of equal size, labeled red, blue, green, and yellow. Every day Mr. Larkin selects one group at random to read aloud during class. The groups selected each day for 8 days are shown. Which group's observed frequency of being selected is closest to the expected frequency? And then we have our 4 colors. So in order to do this one, I would start with a chart where I would put my colors down. And then I would want to look at my 2 frequencies. So the first one that I would look at would be my expected. Sometimes you'll hear this referred to as your theoretical. So my theoretical frequency for each of these is going to be essentially what the favorable outcome is over all of the possible outcomes. So each day I have 4 possible outcomes. A red could be chosen, blue, green, or yellow. So the total outcome possibilities would be 4. Now I have to figure out, well, how many of those 4 would be favorable. In this case, a favorable outcome would be red. Out of those 4 options, only one of them is red. So my theoretical or my expected probability would be 1/4. Likewise with blue, there's still only 4 options, and one of those is blue. For green, still 4 options, one of them is green, and for yellow, 4 options, one of them is yellow. So for all 4 categories, our theoretical or our expected frequency would be 1/4. Now we want to see which one, when actually selected, so that would be our observed, or sometimes that is referred to as our experimental probability, is closest to 1/4 based on the group. So when we look at this again, we want to do our favorable outcomes over possible. So we have to start with how many possible options are there. Well, here there were 8 trials, so that will be all of the outcomes. Now out of that we want to figure out how many were favorable. In this case, any that are red would be favorable. So we'll look through our chart, and I see that I have 1 red here, and that's all that I have. So 1/8 would be my observed or my experimental probability here. Now I want to do the same thing for blue. There's still 8 total options, but now I want to see, well, how many of those are blue? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that are blue. So that would be 5/8. Next, I'll look at green. Still 8. And I want to see how many are green. There's 1, 2. So 2 out of 8 were green. Last but not least, yellow. Still total of 8. And then I look through and I don't see any that are yellow. Now here I have to see which ones are closest to 1/4. This one's fairly close, but a little bit off. Here 5/8 is further away than 1/8 away from 1/4. So far red is winning, if you will. But then we get to this 2/8, and if I were to simplify 2/8, I could divide both the top and the bottom by 2, which is the same as 1/4. So here I have 1/4 and 1/4, so those are actually exactly the same. So green is going to be my answer choice because 0/8 would be further away.